The Young and the Restless spoilers Jack's heart attack. Kyle rushes back to Jabot. Kyle and Jack's relationship had been good, especially given that Kyle is Jack's only child. But all of a sudden, their relationship has gone down the drain. Kyle hates Jack so much for no reason at all. Anyway, here's one reason Kyle might come rushing back to his father's side. Due to all the pressure, if Jack gets a heart attack, Kyle might realize that what he's doing is wrong and he needs to help his father and be by his side before things go bad to worse. Kyle's love for Jack is still there, he's just gone rogue and Victor is feeding off that. So I think a heart attack storyline would be great to bring everything back. Make Kyle help out at Jabot and betray Glissade. Heart attack. Kyle used to be super tight with Jack, his one and only son. But now, out of nowhere, Kyle's boiling over with anger toward his dad, and it's hard to figure out exactly why. The stress is mounting, and the weight of everything could easily push Jack to his breaking point. I mean, picture this, Jack ends up having a heart attack from all the pressure. Can you imagine how that would hit Kyle? All that anger and hatred, but in the moment his dad's life is on the line, Kyle might just snap out of it. His love for Jack hasn't disappeared, it's just buried under layers of bad choices and manipulation. A heart attack could be the wake-up call he desperately needs to realize that, hey, his father needs him, and things have spiraled way too far. Victor, of course, is sitting there in the shadows, fueling the fire, happy to watch Kyle's rebellion. But when Jack's health takes a serious nosedive, that could be the shock. Kyle needs to reconsider everything. Suddenly, betraying Jabot and aligning with Victor doesn't seem worth it when your father's lying in a hospital bed. Kyle could end up running back to Jabot, not just to mend fences with Jack, but also to take responsibility for all the chaos he's caused. It would be the perfect moment for him to turn his back on his recent shady dealings and leave behind any alliance with Glissade. In the end, Jack's health crisis could be exactly what it takes to get Kyle back on track. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Diane leaves Abbott Mansion. Phyllis and Christine's theory. On Thursday, instead of telling Nick the truth, Sharon might point the finger at Daniel, claiming he's been wrongfully accusing her. Nick's protective instincts will only grow, but he remains in the dark about what's really going on. After confronting Sharon and getting no answers, Daniel's left questioning everything. With evidence like blood found at the scene and the discovery of a murder weapon, Daniel knows the police are closing in, and it seems like his arrest is inevitable. Christine, meanwhile, rushes back to defend Daniel, certain that he wouldn't hurt Heather. She's determined to clear his name, but things take a twist when Phyllis suggests Sharon might be the real culprit. Diane reveals to Tracy that Jack has asked her to leave, confusing Tracy about their sudden marriage problems. There's a chance, though, that Jack and Diane are faking their split to fool Victor or Kyle. Christine returns. In Genoa City, tensions are skyrocketing, especially with Sharon falling apart. Nick's worried and pushes her to open up, but Sharon's not ready to confess anything. She's been an emotional wreck, and instead of telling the truth, she might turn the situation against Daniel, accusing him of harassing her with false claims. Nick, ever protective, will get even more defensive, not realizing the full picture. Meanwhile, Daniel's in deep trouble. After confronting Sharon, he got nothing but denials, leaving him questioning everything. Blood found at the scene and a murder weapon don't help his case. Daniel's gut tells him that the police will show up soon, and it looks like he's right. His fears of being arrested seem to be coming true as the evidence against him stacks up. Christine, however, rushes back to town determined to prove Daniel's innocence. She knows he wouldn't harm Heather, and she's ready to fight for him. But things get complicated when Phyllis suggests that Sharon could be the culprit. Christine has to decide if this is just another one of Phyllis's wild theories or if there's truth behind it. Over at the Abbott household, Diane shocks Tracy by revealing that Jack asked her to move out, leaving Tracy confused by their crumbling marriage. However, Jack might have a bigger plan up his sleeve, possibly faking the breakup to deceive Victor or Kyle. The Young and the Restless spoilers. What's Victor's game? Abby's wedding ruined. Why does Victor have to be at the center of it all, literally always? He's already got his hands full with his games and businesses, and now he's arranging Abby and Devon's wedding too. It's just so much. And on top of that, it's a secret wedding that no one has any idea about. This is making me a little suspicious. What if Victor is planning something sinister? He might be thinking about dropping a bombshell on the Chancellor takeover plot, thinking he'll be sneaky, take full control of everything, and have everything in control. But gambling on his daughter's wedding might not be a smart move. I am so tired of Victor always having the upper hand. He's not a wizard or a psychic. How does he always know what's about to happen and what to do? So should Abby's wedding be a disaster place because Victor overestimated himself? Wedding disaster. Now, Abby's set to marry Devon, right, but it's all being done in secret. Like, what is going on? Is this even necessary? Victor's already juggling a million things with his businesses and power plays, and now he's adding wedding planner to his resume? It feels like too much for one guy to handle, especially when there's a mysterious vibe swirling around the whole event. I mean, Victor, being Victor, can't just let a momentous occasion happen without inserting himself right in the middle of it. Could he have some ulterior motives? Honestly, wouldn't be surprising at all. He might be plotting to drop some bombshell news during this wedding, and if I had to guess, it's probably something big related to the Chancellor takeover. You know, Victor loves having all the power in his hands, and what better way to shake things up than during his daughter's wedding? Using his own daughter's wedding as a platform for some grand corporate scheme. That could go very, very wrong. And honestly, how does this man always seem to know what's coming next? I mean, no one's that good at predicting every twist and turn. Yet here he is, always one step ahead, but this time, maybe the tables turn. Maybe his elaborate plans, if he's even got one this time, fall apart right when it matters most. So what are we left with? The possibility that Abby's wedding, which should be a beautiful, private moment, might turn into a chaotic disaster zone. The young and the restless spoilers. Daniel finds a blonde hair in his apartment. Sharon doomed. Sharon did clean up the place, in fact really well, but let's be honest, she was sloppy. She was in such a panic. I have a feeling she did make some mistake. Besides, she doesn't even know if she really killed Heather. I mean, she was blacked out. Now Daniel is frantic trying to look for Heather, but in the process, maybe he'll find a very blonde strand of hair that'll make him doubt. Now of course he might think it's Lucy's, but maybe he'll notice the hair's longer or something. He may also not give it much thought at first, but later some kind of conversation with Lucy might make him search the hair back and even push for a DNA test. Regardless, Sharon's days of ease might be over. I mean, sure, she hasn't breathed a sigh of relief for a while not, but if one strand of hair leads Daniel to her, what happens next? Daniel's shock. Things are about to get very complicated for Sharon, and if she thought she could breathe easy, well, that hope is about to be dashed. We all know she was in a total panic when she tried to clean up Daniel's apartment. Sure, she did a thorough job, but when you're that stressed, mistakes are bound to happen. Sharon's mind was a mess, she was blacked out, and to make matters worse, she isn't even entirely sure whether Heather is alive or not. The whole ordeal has left her in a constant state of anxiety, and it seems like one small detail might unravel everything. Now, imagine Daniel, already spiraling because Heather is missing. He's desperately searching for answers, going through every corner of his apartment, and then, he stumbles upon something he didn't expect. A single strand of blonde hair. At first, he probably brushes it off, assuming it belongs to Lucy, his daughter. But something nags at him. The length isn't quite right, or maybe it just doesn't sit well with him after a conversation with Lucy. That's when the wheels in his head start turning. It wouldn't be far-fetched for Daniel to start connecting dots that weren't even on his radar before. His curiosity could easily lead him to double-check the hair, maybe even push for a DNA test. What happens if that single strand points to someone else? Specifically, Sharon? Her whole world could come crashing down, all because of one careless mistake.
Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to check some of our other videos. And we hope to see you again in the next video.
The Young and the Restless spoilers. Victoria's pitch, Nate's surprise, Kyle versus Audra. On October 1st, Victoria is on a mission to save Billy from the impending chaos of the Abbott Chancellor takeover. She's deeply concerned about how this will impact her children, Johnny and Katie, especially if their grandfather orchestrates a disaster. Her ultimate hope is for Victor to buy out Billy. However, Billy is uninterested, and Victor shows no signs of wanting to help him out. When Victor learns of Victoria's efforts to assist Billy, he's furious, demanding her loyalty to the Newman family instead. Yet, Victoria is resolute and unwilling to abandon her ex-partner. Meanwhile, Nate receives a puzzling message that raises eyebrows. Could it be from Amy Lewis? Her return could unearth secrets, including the possibility of a half-brother that Nate never knew existed. As Kyle relishes his latest victory over Audra, she's gearing up for revenge. At war, Billy might want to brace himself because Victoria is stepping up once again, determined to save him from the disaster looming over the Abbott-Chancellor drama. She spent enough time thinking it over and can't shake the fear of seeing her kids, Johnny and Katie, witness their father's life being torn apart, especially if Victor gets his way. But let's be real, Victoria isn't exactly in Victor's corner on this one. Victoria's dream scenario is getting Victor to buy Billy out. That way, Billy can carve out a new path for himself, build something fresh, and maybe even create his own version of an Abbott empire. But Billy's just not into the idea. And to make matters worse, Victor isn't exactly rushing to the negotiation table either. Meanwhile, Nate receives a strange, unsettling message that leaves him scratching his head. The cryptic nature of the message immediately raises questions, and Nate can't help but wonder who's behind it. Amy, who was once romantically involved with Nate's father, Nathan Hastings Sr., is about to return to the scene, and her arrival could shake things up for Nate in ways he never expected. Is she reaching out to share a long-buried secret? Or could someone else, perhaps a figure from Nate's past, be behind the message? Meanwhile, Kyle is living on cloud 9. After managing to one-up Audra yet again, he's feeling pretty invincible. But let's not forget, Audra's not one to go down without a fight. Of course, Victor is left to deal with the fallout between Kyle and Audra.
Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to check some of our other videos. And we hope to see you again in the next video.
The Young and the Restless spoilers. Heather's ghostly appearance. Is she dead or not? Sharon might be thinking she killed Heather, but what if she hasn't? And in fact, what if Heather is gearing up to push Sharon to the brink of insanity until she spirals and reveals what she did on her own? Imagine if Heather keeps on appearing in front of Sharon in the most horrifying and mysterious way possible. Heather might tell Sharon that she killed her and she needs to pay for that wearing all bloody clothes. She could act like she's a ghost time and again making Sharon insane. Since Cameron already lives in Sharon's mind, if she starts getting haunted by a woman she just killed, she'll certainly go insane. I would like to see Heather acting all crazy like a real ghost until she gives Sharon a taste of her own medicine. What about you? Sharon's horror. Sharon's haunted by the heavy burden of her actions, especially after what transpired with Heather. But what if the situation isn't as straightforward as it seems? Could it be that Heather isn't truly gone? Picture this, Heather returns, not in a peaceful form but as a ghostly figure, intent on unsettling Sharon's world and dragging her into a maelstrom of psychological terror. Imagine the chilling moments when Heather, dressed in blood-soaked attire, confronts Sharon, echoing haunting accusations that she must pay for her supposed sins. The tension builds as Heather appears at the most unexpected times, her spectral presence growing increasingly erratic and unnerving. Every encounter heightens the suspense, pushing Sharon closer to the edge of madness. It's not just a haunting, it's a relentless psychological game where the stakes are Sharon's sanity. Now consider Cameron, already a ghost in Sharon's psyche, an ominous reminder of past trauma. With Heather now intertwining in her mental torment, how far can Sharon fall? Each ghostly visitation serves as a haunting reminder of her guilt, causing her to question her reality. Will she crack under the pressure, spiraling into chaos as Heather's ghostly presence suffocates her every thought? The narrative turns as Heather's behavior becomes increasingly erratic, perhaps reflecting her desperation to make Sharon confront the dark truths lurking within. Will Sharon's horror unravel her completely, or will she find a way to confront her demons, both real and imagined?
Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to check some of our other videos. and we hope to see you again in the next video.
The Young and the Restless spoilers. Lily's gamble. Victor has nothing on her. Okay guys, what do you think about Lily? She's walking on Victor's trap so easily and has no idea that he's playing her. But what if she's smarter than how she looks? It's possible that Lily, if not now, later, will realize Victor has no intention of giving Chancellor to her. But Lily is not someone who'll give up easily. I mean, she helped men get what they wanted, and all they do is dump her. Recent example is Billy, and this time, Victor's planning the same. So what if she makes her own plan? A foolproof plan that even Victor can't sense. That'd be a great twist when the time comes. When Victor thinks he's winning, Lily backstabs him and takes Chancellor for herself. What do you think? Lily's plan. Lily has been through the ringer with men, right? She spent so much time helping others achieve their dreams, only to be cast aside when they've gotten what they wanted. But now, faced with the cunning Victor, is she really just going to roll over and accept whatever crumbs he throws her way? I don't think so. What if, and hear me out, Lily is biding her time? Picture this, she knows Victor has no real intention of handing over Chancellor to her, and instead of panicking or playing the victim, she starts plotting her own move. Imagine a scenario where she devises a masterful scheme, one so subtle that even Victor, with all his experience and instincts, fails to see it coming. Now that would be an epic twist. Just envision the drama when Victor thinks he's got the upper hand, all the while Lily is working behind the scenes, building her own strategy. What if she turns the tables and executes a plan that flips the script completely? We could see her emerge, not just as a player in Victor's game, but as the ultimate victor herself. It would be satisfying to watch her outsmart him, taking the reins of Chancellor right out from under his nose. How sweet would that be? Lily's journey has shown us time and again that she's not one to back down easily. So, as we look forward to the upcoming episodes, keep an eye on Lily. Could she be the one to outmaneuver Victor, or will she fall victim to his schemes once again?
Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to check some of our other videos. And we hope to see you again in the next video.
The Young and the Restless spoilers. Audra on thin ice. Nate's mystery. Victoria fights for Billy. Audra is in a precarious position after leaking crucial investor information, and Victor is keeping a close watch on her every move. Victor doesn't tolerate mistakes, and Audra realizes that one more slip could cost her everything. Meanwhile, Kyle is not sitting idly by. He's determined to eliminate Audra and take charge of Glissade. Kyle has been subtly working behind the scenes, alerting Victor to Audra's errors, and it seems to be working in his favor. As if things couldn't get worse for Audra, she recently shared sensitive details with Nate, further igniting Victor's frustration. Now, Audra feels she's treading on thin ice, knowing she must be careful to avoid Victor's wrath. On the other hand, Victoria is caught in the middle of family loyalty and business tension as she supports Billy. This could lead to serious confrontations with Victor. Moving on, Nate receives a mysterious message. Some speculate it's possibly hinting at a long-lost half-brother. Gambit. Audra is in big trouble. Victor doesn't forgive easily, and Audra knows that one more slip-up could cost her everything. But it gets even more complicated because Kyle has his sights set on her too. Kyle has been working behind the scenes, making sure Victor knows all about Audra's mistakes, and it seems to be paying off for him. Victor has no patience for mistakes, and Audra feels like she's on shaky ground. On the other hand, Kyle is plotting his next move. Even though he seems to have the upper hand right now, Kyle knows he can't let his guard down. Audra isn't someone who gives up easily, and if she feels cornered, she might fight back hard. Now, let's not overlook what's happening with Victoria. She's been standing by her brother Billy's side, and that hasn't gone unnoticed by their father, Victor. Victoria's loyalty to Billy could cause a rift between her and Victor. Victor doesn't let family ties get in the way of business, and he might soon confront her about where her loyalties really lie. Meanwhile, Nate has his own mystery to deal with. He receives a strange message that leaves him confused. Who sent it, and what does it mean? Some people think it could be connected to Amy Lewis. There's even talk that Nate might have a half-brother out there, which would change everything for him.
Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to check some of our other videos. And we hope to see you again in the next video.
The Young and the Restless spoilers, Nate's blast from the past ex-girlfriend rocks GC. So word on the street is that Nate is soon about to have a mystery message sent to him that will leave him reeling. Many speculate that Nate has a half-sibling that he doesn't know about, and perhaps the message relates to that. But what if it's from an ex-girlfriend from Boston? There's a possibility that an ex-girlfriend is about to make an appearance. She maybe has a baby with her claiming to be Nate's. Or perhaps this woman is a total psycho ready to extort Nate of everything he has. Perhaps she knows something about Nate that he wants no one to know about. But it's unlikely since the casting call calls for a black guy and not a woman. But on top of being his half-sibling, this guy could also have some dirt on Nate. What do you guys think? Nate's mystery. The latest buzz around town is that Nate Hastings might be in for a huge surprise, and it's bound to leave him in absolute shock. Word is, Nate's about to receive a cryptic message that will likely turn his world upside down. Now, there's a lot of speculation swirling around what this message could be about. Some are whispering about the possibility that Nate has a secret half-sibling. But let's take a different spin on this. What if it's not a half-sibling at all? What if it's someone from Nate's romantic past? A mysterious ex-girlfriend from his Boston days, perhaps? Perhaps an old flame shows up out of the blue, and she's not alone. She's got a baby in tow, and she claims the child is Nate's. Or maybe, this woman isn't here for a peaceful reunion. What if she's got an agenda? Maybe she's ready to cause trouble? Could she be someone from Nate's past who knows a deep, dark secret he's been trying to keep hidden? And worse, maybe she's ready to blackmail him for everything he's got. Now, the casting hints have led fans to believe that the person sending this message isn't a woman at all, but a man, specifically, a black man. That leads us back to the theory that this mystery figure could be a half-brother. But what if this sibling has some dirt on Nate that could change everything for him?
Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to check some of our other videos. And we hope to see you again in the next video.
The Young and the Restless spoilers, Ghost Heather helps Faith discover her body. Next week, it's said that Heather's body will be found in the Wisconsin River. But I still don't believe Sharon is the real killer, and when things start unfolding, Faith may not believe her mother can be such a cold-blooded killer as well. If the wrong person goes to prison, Heather will not find peace as well, so what if Faith starts getting a nightmarish dress with Heather on it? It might be like a puzzle for Faith to solve, so it may take her some time to figure it out, but Heather may be giving Faith clues about her real murderer. Right before Sharon is given the life sentence, will Faith be able to crack the case open and save her mom? I like this scenario, guys. What about you? Faith's helper. Next week in The Young and the Restless, the stakes skyrocket as Faith discovers that Heather's body has been found in the Wisconsin River. This shocking revelation raises serious questions about Sharon's involvement. While the evidence points to her as the killer, Faith struggles to accept that her mother could be a cold-blooded murderer. And did Sharon really completely black out to kill Heather? I don't believe it. As the drama unfolds, Faith may become a beacon of hope, determined to prove Sharon's innocence before it's too late. Imagine Faith having vivid dreams featuring Heather's ghost and a haunting dress she wore. These nightmarish visions could serve as critical clues, guiding Faith through the tangled web of deception. As she pieces together the puzzle, each fragment may reveal the identity of the real killer. The urgency intensifies when Sharon is on the brink of a life sentence, and Faith finds herself racing against time to crack the case open. This storyline is gripping, highlighting Faith's transformation from a vulnerable girl into a fierce advocate for her family. The emotional weight of potentially losing her mother drives her to confront her fears head-on. As Faith delves deeper into the mystery, viewers will be left questioning who the true murderer is and whether she can navigate these treacherous waters. The ghostly presence of Heather might be the only way to guide Faith to the truth. Will Faith uncover the truth in time to save her mother?
Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to check some of our other videos. And we hope to see you again in the next video.